talking about the things that will get you fired when working on board a cruise ship. So just like any other company, there are rules. So there are certain things that you are not allowed to do, certain places that you're not allowed to enter. These rules, they are not there to punish you, but it's for your own safety and the safety of everybody around you. So yes guys, before we get into the video, please guys, don't forget to subscribe, like and share my video. Comment if you have any other video suggestions that you want me to do, and if you have anything that you want to ask about cruise ship, traveling and lifestyle and a chef. If you want some recipes, soon I will be doing my recipes. Then I'll also been sharing some of my favorite recipes on this channel. So guys, please subscribe to my channel. Okay guys, let's get into the video. Okay guys, so the number one thing that you are not allowed to do on cruise ship is sleeping with sailors. Literally, like going into sailor's cabin is not allowed unless if the sailor is, you are related to the sailor, or you know a sailor from somewhere, friend or something else. Yes, but you need to ask for permission from your supervisor, and then so when someone see you, you know, your supervisor know, and you have the permission from the crew office to do so. Because guys, don't try to sneak into sailor's cabin. You know, there are always eyes everywhere. So sometimes we feel like, yes, people, they do go into sailor's cabin, yes, but you know what, there are eyes everywhere. There are eyes everywhere. People are going to see and they are going to report. And yes, it's something that we cannot deny, and it's happening. Crew, they sleep with sailors, but I think back then it was not a problem sleeping with sailor. But as time goes, people, they like to complain, like, okay, you agree for certain things with the sailor, and probably things didn't go the way you planned, or things didn't go the way you agreed to each other. Sailors, they like to sue, so they end up like reporting, adding stories, and probably the person say, no, I didn't do it this way, and the sailor, so no, you didn't, you do it this way, and you know, it end up creating chaos. So it's for your own protection. That's why they say no one is allowed to go into sailor's cabin. And if they find out that you were in sailor's cabin and the sailor, you're not related to the sailor, and you didn't even inform your supervisor, you will lose your job for that. Yes guys, so number 2, you are not allowed to bring drugs to the ship. Yes, just like any other company guys, no one will allow you to use drugs or to do something with illegal things on ship. Not only drugs that you are not allowed to bring, but there are things that you are not allowed to bring. Like here, you're not allowed to bring alcohol, you're not allowed to bring like ready-made food. Yeah, there are certain things that you are not allowed to bring, and try to sneak into the ship with those things. And if they find out that you were trying to bring any of these on board, the result is losing your job. So guys, stay away from drugs. And talking of drugs, people, they go out on ports, and probably some people, they take drugs and do whatever they do, and when they come back on board, you know, if you are strong enough, some people, they hide. But the problem now is there is just random drug test on board. So what happened is they will just pick random, like 100 people or 200 crew on a certain day, and they will just ask you to go to the medical for drug test. And if you by any chance fail drug test, you lose your job. You will lose your job. And if you refuse to go for drug test, you lose your job. It's something that you just have to do. It's random. Like now, like while I'm sitting here, they can even like text me, we need you in medical, and they drug test, and if you fail, you lose your job. They then that's the result that you are doing drugs, and they don't want people to take drugs. The reason, I think the most reason why they don't like people to take drugs on board is because we are working at sea. While working at sea, anything can happen, and everybody, as long as you are a crew on board a cruise ship, you have duty, safety duty to perform. And while you have safety duty to perform, imagine emergencies happen and you are probably high and you cannot perform your duty. Now it means you're going to put everybody at risk, because you can't fulfill your duties, safety duties, because of drugs. That again take us to the next point. You are not allowed to drink, to get drunk. Drinking is not a problem, but you are not allowed to get drunk. Normally when you are working, like you are on duty, you are only allowed to be 0.000% alcohol in your system. And if you are off duty, since we work here and we live here, that's what makes it different from the land. You know, when you're working on the land, you can work, and after work you can drink all you want, do whatever you want. But here we live and work here, so we still need to take care of ourselves, because if you drink or you are drunk and something happened, you are drunk, you are high, you cannot perform your safety duty. Now again, you are putting everybody at risk. So that is why when you are off duty, you are only allowed to take 0.05% alcohol in your system. That literally five beers. I think for men it's 5 beers, but for female I think it's 4 beers, yes, per day. No, I think an hour. After every hour you only need to take 4 beers. So that's the rule. Yeah, people, they get drunk, people, they take alcohol, yes, and they get drunk, right? But now it's not like they do like every day they're gonna breathalyze everybody. No, but if you are someone who can drink and you're still able to take care of yourself, to control yourself, then there's nothing wrong, and no one will ever find out that you were drunk. But if you get drunk and you start causing problems, fighting, and probably just making everyone know that you are drunk, then you are in trouble of losing your job. Because if they breathalyze you and see now you are drunk and you are over 0.05%, you are fired. So whenever you are drunk, just make sure you know how to take care of yourself, control yourself, go to your cabin, sleep. No one will ever find out, and no one will ever bother you why you drink so much, because no one will find out. And moving on to next point is you are not allowed to do any form of trading on board. Something like, I'm a chef and probably there is a bar next to my kitchen, and now I need to cook food and give the bar in exchange for drinks. That's a total no. If anybody find out that is happening, both the chef and the bartender, you are all fired. So no barter trade in any form that is allowed. Like seriously, me, I don't understand these guys. For Virgin Voyages, like half of the things, it's like always on discount, and when it comes to entertainment, half of the things that sailors pay to do on board, we get it for free. Spa, normally there are certain days where the spa is open for all the crew. You can just go and relax and enjoy yourself. And if you want to buy something from the shops, most of the time it's like 20, 30, 40 or even 50% discount for crew. And whenever you buy, there is always a crew discount when you buy into cruise shop. So there is nothing to do trading. So why risking your job for something that you can get at 50% discount? Really, guys? So it's something that you need to be very careful about when you are on board. If someone come to you and say, okay, can you just give me something so you can come to spa, we'll give you free pedicure. Free pedicure is literally 30% on a port day. So why would I risk my job for pedicure? So it's something that you just need to avoid when you are on board a cruise ship. Yes, while we are still on trading, you are not allowed to steal. no one allow anybody to steal, but people, they steal anyway. The problem is when you steal and you get caught, you're fired. So guys, do not steal. That's the same thing again. Everything is like 50-40% discount. Whatever you buy, especially when you buy on board, you get discount. So why stealing? So if they ever find out that you are stealing from somebody, fellow crew, you are stealing maybe in crew ship shops, or you are stealing anyway, you were fired. There is no warning for stealing. You were completely fired. Yes, I know one of this guy, not so sure about the story, but he was fired for stealing. He used to take his crew cabin mate's card and go out in port and use that card to tap. So whatever you want to buy, he uses cabin mate crew card to tap. So I don't know how the cabin mate find out and try to track until, because he was checking on his balances and what the shops, like every time when you buy something and you tap with the card, there's always a message popping in your phone. Oh, you pay this amount of money in a certain shop. So he was like, I'm not going out in port these days, but every time I got messages that I'm buying something. So he decided to just quietly track the guy, and they caught him and he was fired. And it was really embarrassing. Seriously guys, it was really embarrassing. So guys, try not to steal. It's a bad thing. No one will ever want someone to steal. Even you don't want someone to steal from you, so stay away. You cannot lose your job for stealing. At the end of the month, you are getting your pay. You can buy whatever you want. So yes guys, do not steal. Okay, we move on to harassment. No, any form of harassment is allowed on board. Please guys, forgive me, I live in deck 2 and this is the engine right now that is making noise, so you better cope with it because I'm not stopping. I'm just gonna do this video with this noise. It's gonna take like maybe a minute or so. I live in deck 2, so yeah, this is the other disadvantage of working on board. Whenever you are a crew, just know your cabins are in deck 3, deck 2. Whenever the engine starts, that's the story. This thing can even wake you up when you are sleeping. So that's it. Okay guys, we move on. Okay, we move on to harassment. No, any form of harassment is allowed on board. Verbally, sexually, emotionally, you are not allowed to harass anybody. That one guys, I find it very tricky because you are working on board, right? And working on board, you work with people from different places, different countries. They believe in different cultures. So it is very difficult to engage and to hang around before you ask certain people what they really like and what they don't like. It happens that there was a situation that I witnessed the other day. For me, in my country, someone calling me madam, it's okay, we don't have problem with that. I am grateful in my country. A lot of words doesn't really affect us, but in certain countries, people, they don't like certain words. It's like harassment to them. So someone just like call other person madam, which lead to the next person to go and report harassment. So you need to be very careful how you speak to people. Know what people like, know what people don't like, because some things maybe in your country is just normal. It's just something that you do and it's just very normal, but to the next person in their culture, they don't like it. It's abuse. So whenever you are talking to someone for the very first time, if you are friends or if you are workmates, you happen to work in the same space, same kitchen, same bar, same restaurant, those are the questions that you need to ask. What they believe, what they like, what they don't like. It will help you in the future, because it's not really nice someone to be in the PNC office. It's just not a good thing. So just try to save yourself from that by avoid certain words, avoid slangs, especially slang. Some of the slangs is just normal, but other people it's harassment. So yes guys, whenever you are on board, take note of those things. And sexual harassment is something that is not allowed on board. You are not allowed to harass anybody sexually. This one really touch more on male, because once a female go to the office and report sexual harassment, for the cases that I've noticed on board, it is really very difficult for the guy to win. I don't know why. I heard one of this guy was fired because from what he said we were friends with a certain girl. The girl used to go into the guy's cabin, they sit, they talk, and maybe for like from 10 to around 1 a.m. talking, watching movies. But then the other day, the girl just all of a sudden come out of the guy's cabin and went straight to the office and report he was trying to touch me. But when the guy was trying to explain, no, I never touched her, she's my friend, we always do that, we talk, we drink until late nights, and she just go, she insisted no, he was trying to touch me. And when the camera when they go and check on the cameras, they see the girl leaving the guy's cabin, which make the guy get fired for that. So it is some of the things that you need to be very careful when you are on board, because sometimes it just happens and people create stories, so you need to protect yourself from those things. So the other thing that will get you fired when working on board a cruise ship is being late to the ship or missing the ship. Yes, I was late one time, and I was 45 minutes late, but thankfully when I come, there was this drill taking place, and I managed to get back to the ship, though I had to some questions I had to answer. What happened? Where were you? Why you were late? Those it is very bad. I had a bad day that day. Thankfully I didn't even sign the warning. They forgave me, but I'll make sure I'll never do it again. And when it comes to this, people get confused with there is a ship time, the time that they use on board, and there is a local time, then the time at the certain port you are at that time. Those times, they really confuse people. So it is very important whenever you are leaving the ship to going out on port, you need to ask the security at the gangway. They're all about time, and check up your time with their time so you do not miss the ship. I have one, I didn't see the person, but I just heard of the story when it happens that yeah, she was late, but she was late because of that thing, time difference. She was using her time, and her phone automatically changed to the local time, and it was now different from the ship's time, so she was late. I'm not so sure what happened to the girl. Some say she was fired, some said no, she wasn't fired, it was just her contract that was almost finishing, so no one knows what happened. So it's some of the things that you need to be aware of when you're working on board a cruise ship. Be very careful, do not be late, because you will be fired. Much worse if you miss the ship. Oh my god, that's no. Missing a ship, that means they will leave your bag at the port and your passport. You are fired. There's no two ways about it. Yes guys, so we move on to drills. Everybody on board got a safety duty. Everyone got a safety duty to perform on board. Me, I'm crew marshal. My duty is to make sure I'm at the crew assembly station on time. Everybody tap in. When we abandoning the ship, I have to make sure everybody abandon ship on my assembly station. So everybody on board got a safety duty to perform, and every week we do what we call a crew drill. A crew drill is like a safety training to make sure we know what to do in case of emergency. So it's like they make an alarm pretending like there is an emergency, and everybody has to perform. So even if you are working, even if you are off duty, even if you are sleeping, you need to attend the drill. Do not miss the drill. Imagine that I have this girl, she went outside the port and she didn't know in few hours it was a drill, and she was not there. Yes, she signed final warning straight for that. Hopefully it will not happen to you, because chances are you will get fired. They do not play when it comes to safety. We are working on board at sea, and if anything happens while you are at sea, there is no way you can run to, unless the only solution that you have is for you to save the ship, or to make sure everybody leave the ship safely. That is why they are very strict when it comes to drills. You need to do the drills to make sure you know and you understand about safety. So they do not play. When it just miss drills, it's a different story for you. Yeah, we move on to smoking. Yes guys, there are designated areas for smoking where everybody, you can freely smoke as many cigarettes as you want. There are 2 for crew, and I think 2 again for sailors. Yes, I'm not so sure if they are here on board, if we have more than that. But you are not allowed to smoke in your cabin. Yes, that's what people do. Normally most of the people, they try to hide and smoke into the cabin. Probably he just wanted to take a smoke, but the person is very lazy to go up and go to the smoking area. So you know, people, they smoke into the cabin. But there are smoke detectors in cabins. So some of these people, they tend to remove the thing that detects smoke. I don't know how they do that, and then they smoke into the cabin. And if something happened and they find out that you deactivate it, you are fired, because you are putting the life of everybody at risk. Because if you sometimes smoke and you drop some of them, maybe that end of the cigarette, and maybe it light up the curtain or it light up something, and the room now is on fire, and you deactivate the smoke detector, now there's nothing to give sign or alarms about the smoke or the fire. You are keeping everybody at risk. So you will get fired. If they ever find out that you are smoking in your cabin, you'll be fired. So there are certain areas that you only allowed to smoke. Those areas, they are safe to smoke. You can smoke as many cigarettes as you want, but you are not allowed to smoke in gullies. You're not allowed to smoke in all other areas other than smoking areas. Okay, the next point is opening or entering into the restricted area. Guys, as we all know, we work on board a cruise ship, and there are plenty doors. Some doors you just, some doors you just see this door, there's a door there, there's a door there, there's a door there. There are doors almost everywhere, but there's always a sign at each and every door. There's always a sign on certain lockers, there's always a sign on certain doors. There's every door there's a sign. So whenever door that says restricted or certain people are not allowed, do not enter, because if they find out or if they see those, there are cameras on board. Every part of the ship there are cameras. So some of the things that you do and you think no one will find out, they will find out. And this is not for like there are code there. No, there is no code there. It's for your own safety. Imagine you open the door and you go into the engine room. Imagine how big the engine room is, the thing that will make this whole thing move. Imagine how big it is, and imagine how dangerous it is. That is why there are certain people who are not allowed to be in those areas. It's for your safety and everybody around you safety. That is why if they find out that you are in certain room and it is well written that do not enter, you will lose your job, because you are putting the life of everybody at risk. Yes guys, so we move on to the last, that's not the least, but it's the last, throwing things overboard. Yes guys, everybody will know about SOLAS. I will make a video about SOLAS and safety of life at sea and everything when I get a chance. We are here to protect the sea and everything that is in it. So we are not allowed to throw anything, not even a paper, nothing is allowed to go into the sea, including you. If you jump overboard and you happen to survive, you are fired after that. So if you throw anything and they check on camera and see you were busy throwing things, yeah, sometimes you maybe by mistake, it's okay, they can tell like this is a mistake and this is intentional, you know. So if they find out that you intentionally throw something overboard, you are fired. So stay away, do not throw. There are bins everywhere, bins for everything. So what's the point of throwing things overboard? Nothing. Okay, so guys, I think that's it for today. Do not get fired, stay away from these things, protect your job guys. I hope this video was helpful, and I'll see you in my next video where I will be talking about someone requested the video about the jobs that you can apply for when you don't have experience. So in my next video, that's what I'll be talking about, the jobs that you can apply when you don't have experience. So if you are one of those guys, you want to work on cruise ship but you think you don't have experience and you are not so sure what you can do on board, yes, tune in, I'll bring something for you. So yes guys, please don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to like, and don't forget to share this video. I'll see you next time. I love you guys.